Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kickback presents the All Memphis Post Game Show, where we talk about Memphis basketball, Grizzlies, and Tigers right after the game. You don't have to wait for our takes. And yeah, Mace, we got something to talk about. We haven't done a Tigers game at all this year, so
No,
here we are, and talking about the Tigers 79-82 loss to the Georgia Bulldogs on the road in
you know
Athens,
why?
Georgia.
Why the family only get together when the bad things happen? We need to get together when
No,
there's
well,
more
here's
positive.
here's here's the thing. We've been talking about getting together before. This just happens to be the night that works for everybody. And to be honest, tonight didn't really work for me. I only got like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. I
I only
agree.
got I only got like 20 minutes. This ain't gonna be much one of the more comprehensive shows that we do, but that
I'm gonna
we've
be
done.
honest. It's tough being back in town because now I have actual things going on throughout the week. I'm here, I'm there, I'm going to the games, and then when you get home from the game, it's like, well, gotta go to bed and go to work.
Right. I don't want to talk about them. So we'll figure out a way, even if it's just a weekly thing, a bi-weekly thing, something where we can do a recap. But like I said, tonight we are going to talk about the Tigers losing their second in a row, on the road to an inferior team. And I'm gonna just let you start because I got some words to say. I'm gonna let you go.
I mean, there's no way around it. It's not a good loss. Um, it's just not that Georgia team has been in a tough stretch. I think they lost four straight to Georgia Tech, Virginia, Northwestern, and Wofford. And I'm not here to say all those teams are terrible. They're better than a lot of the American Athletic Conference, probably. Um, but just with the talent Memphis has, that's a bad, bad loss. But I'm also willing to say I don't think the sky is falling, despite some of the comments coming from the head coach after tonight's game.
Oh my goodness.
I actually thought they looked better and took Georgia's probably best punch they had. Georgia made a lot of tough threes early in the game, and then stepped up and made some late in the game. And obviously, that's on the Tigers to get the stop. But I thought, the turnovers were cut in half from what we've seen the first six games. Only 11 turnovers tonight. Alo, I think, made it clear that he's kind of the key to this season, the key to this team. When good Alo is there, the team looks good or better at least. Um, but and he is better coming off the bench, so I'm not advocating for him to start, which is a weird conundrum that I don't understand either. It's been like that his whole career at Memphis, it
Mhm.
seems. So that makes things dicey with the starting lineup. And I mean, the if you're on Twitter, on social media, things are bad. The sky is falling for
Yo,
Tiger
my
fans.
my mom, who's obviously watching on Facebook, just text me. Be kind with your comments about coach. Thanks.
Well, and to that point, like, here's what Penny had to say after the game. There aren't enough guys in that locker room who care about winning unless they are the ones that are helping us win. It's not team. That's the danger of having a lot of talent. The talent wants to play or has to want to play together. And right now, the talent doesn't want to play together. Story of our lives the last 3 years or 4 years as Memphis fans, but it is true. Like, when they actually pass the ball on offense, they get open looks and they look really good. When they go one on one and try to do the dumbass shots like you're playing 21, like Emoni did, or catch it off a rebound and just shoot it like Landers does, like, it's obvious that they are thinking about how many points they can score or
Right.
need to score to get drafted. And instead of just taking the approach of if we win, everything will take care of itself. So I'll let you express your thoughts now.
That's the main thing that we always used to tell people. As long as we win, you're gonna get taken care of. Maybe you don't get taken care of at the level you think you should be taken care of, but you're going to get taken care of as long as we win. Winning cures everything. And I'm also with you. It's like the sky is not falling. This team has too much talent. Everything that they want is still ahead of them. But this is the same story we've seen before. We've seen this time and time again. Um, this is Penny's fourth year. We've seen this with his teams all the time. I said it before, say it again. He had a super solid team before adding Jalen Duren and Emoni Bates, and adding them just threw off the chemistry of this team. Not saying that they're not going to be good, not saying that they still can't make a Sweet 16, or Elite Eight, or maybe in the Final Four, because they can. But coming off what they came off last year with that roster and those people coming back, they had the core to be able to do everything they still wanted to do. Adding those two guys and Earl Timberlake kind of threw things off a little bit. Tonight, I think that Penny fell into some of his old things. Like I looked up, it was 16 minutes and 22 seconds on the clock in the first half, and he was already subbing somebody. You
Yeah.
didn't get to the first media timeout. You didn't even get to the first media timeout before you send in two subs.
That is true, but he leaned on his guys for the most part. I mean, Landers had 31 minutes, Lester 33, DeAndre 29, Emoni and Jalen 26 each, and then Alo 27 and Earl 17. And then you got 5 from Tyler and Jaden and 1 from Josh. So I mean,
it seemed to me that Tyler played more than 5 minutes. Every time I looked up, I don't know why it seemed that way.
I thought he was making plays. Honestly, he was part of that run. Yeah.
I did too.
Defensively, weirdly, like,
and I think you pointed it out, and this is the story of Alex Lomax's career. When he's not counted on to be the person, he's really good. That's how he was at when East was good before they brought in that whole bunch of talent. It was TJ Moss's team. Alo was the person setting up TJ Moss. They made everybody else look good. And then when James Wiseman got there, Alex was the person who set up James Wiseman and Chandler Lawson and all the other talented players on that team. And then you get to Memphis and you put the focus on him as a point guard, and it's not he ain't that. So you take him coming off the bench, and shoot, he making shots, making plays, got him in the middle of the zone, shooting jumpers. Like, I get it, cool. So maybe that's the role he has to be in for the rest of the time. Somebody hit me up today after the game and said that Emoni's people should lock Penny in a room because Penny is making Emoni look average. And I don't know if it's a system. I don't know what it is. But they don't look like, granted, he's not 17. He's like 19 years old for real. But that's not the Emoni Bates that we were promised. And go ahead. What you got?
I disagree with that. I think expecting Emoni Bates to come in and be what Kevin Durant was as a freshman, or Michael Beasley or something at that level, was just that's not going to happen. That's rare. That's so rare. Emoni was already kind of sliding down the draft boards before we got him. But when we got him, we let all that slide. We went back to the 15-year-old on Slam Magazine. But I think if he was eligible for this draft, he's still getting drafted top 10 right now. Like,
no
you see the NBA moves when he let him fly in the second half. And but then you also see what he's got to figure out how to harness is just that wildness after he makes those moves or when he hasn't got the ball in a while. I mean, Penny said also that the team looked like an AAU team, and that's the type of ball Emoni has played, like AAU and a lot of times on a sorry AAU team where he was the only focal point. He had that little run with team final in Duran. In the Peach Jam or whatever they play. He didn't even get to play the Peach Jam with them. And then I feel like he was kind of bouncing around to some of those academy schools that they're not your big names. He's kind of like these made up schools, basically. So
he had a school
now you got to play basketball where you can, if you just pass and cut and move and set a screen and turn towards the basket, like the game will be so much easier for him. But he can't understand that yet. And that's what we see over and over again with these guys. I mean, even Landers, who's a junior or senior, DeAndre Williams, who's our age, they can't just drop the selfishness and play as a team. Like, it blows my mind. And I can't imagine that it's that way in practice, for this, because this is basically what I'm being asked to believe, that if we think they practice this way, is they look like shit the whole time. Then Penny, Larry Brown, Rasheed Wallace, and all them just like, all right, cool, we good. Like, let's go.
Right.
Like, what does practice look like? And maybe it's all defense. That's what the reports say.
Well, I mean, they always play defense well. They play defense very well.
Have work to do tonight.
I think John Martin made a great point on the radio this morning, talking about this Georgia game, and also, like, full transparency, I definitely bet Tigers -11 because I figured why they would just go down there 11. They just go down there and just why wouldn't they win this game? They got
me too.
This game. But he made a great point. Like, nobody on this team is used to being the hunted as a team. Maybe as an individual they are, but as a team, you're going to get everybody's best shot
every night.
Every night. It don't matter. It don't matter. You get everybody's best shot. And I don't know if they can handle that. Now, granted, we're talking about a 3-point loss on the road. Even though this was a very mediocre Georgia team, still a 3-point loss on the road, still to an SEC opponent.
Yeah.
But and I think the thing that worries Tigers fans is that, like I said, we've seen this story before. We've seen it before. And the importance of this non-conference schedule is to get these wins, because you're not going to be able to get these. You're not going to be able to get wins against qualified opponents in the conference. And so this looks troubling. You've already lost. You lost to an Iowa State. You struggled with a Western Kentucky. You lost to an Iowa State, and you lost to a Georgia. Granted, those last two were neutral site or road games. Those are games you still should win. It doesn't matter. You have the talent to win those games. You should win those games. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It puts the emphasis on these next few games even more. Ole Miss is better than Georgia by every metric. So is probably Murray State, Alabama for sure, Tennessee for sure. So you got 4 opportunities, to right these 2 wrongs, basically. And if you win 3 of these next 4 games, we'll be singing a different tune.
Right. Right.
So it is what it is. It's going to be a growing process. And if you're a Tigers fan or an analyst who wants to take the sky is falling approach, I can't blame you. But I don't choose to live my life that way at this time.
The only reason, and I mean, I told you this before, I said the weakest link on this team is the coach on the sidelines. And you're not giving me any comfort. If I'm a fan and the coach comes out and says, we look like an AAU team. Well, you the coach, brother, fix it. If you don't want to look like an AAU team, don't make them look like an AAU team. We got a lot of players who don't want to do this and that. You the coach. Part of coaching is managing personalities. Part of coaching is managing rosters. Part of coaching is putting together a roster that's going to fit well together. So you don't have these problems. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. This is what you got. Let's not have these type of conversations after every loss. And let's do what we got to do to start winning and to start looking good while we winning.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you're saying. And I guess to the point and back to what you said earlier about bringing in, the 2 projected lottery picks. We did see the offense this year be completely different from what we ended last year with the Lion it's a basic flex offense. Like, it's simple basketball. You pass and cut. Right. And so, all the talk the past couple of days been that's coming back. And we did see it today. You still kind of saw them, especially early in the first half, just thinking after every pass, like, oh, now I got to go off this screen that Duren set and go around. And that in and of itself, to me, as someone who had always had to know the plays just to hope to be on the court, it kind of blows my mind. Like, it's a pass and cut. You do that at the rec. Like, you do that if we play pickup and we're 32, 35, whatever. Like, it's simple basketball.
Pass and pick away, pass, pick away, dive, pass, pick away, pop, pass, reject, doom. Like, it's a read and react type of offense. And this is the one thing, like, I talk a lot about my experience with Kevin O'Neal and how KO as crazy of a person as he was off the court, on the court, he was a basketball savant. And that's why he got so many jobs. You know what I'm saying? But also, KO knew his team. So my first year at SC, we had a bunch of JUCO players, and a bunch of players. I mean, ain't none of them really watching this. We had a bunch of not good players. You know what I'm saying? They weren't at the Pac-12 level of talent at that time. But KO knew if I put these players in that position, in certain positions, I know what we can do. So what does that mean? I want to slow this game down to a grinding halt. I'm going to call a play every time down the court so somebody knows that they are getting a shot. X knows he's getting a shot. B knows whatever. It doesn't even matter. But that's what I have to do for this team to succeed. And Penny doesn't, in my mind, in the way I look at it, Penny doesn't take a look and see what each one of his teams needs. He just tries to do the same thing with every team. And you can't do that. Like, maybe it might make sense to call a play every time down the court with this team to make sure Landers gets the shot where he wants to get it, to make sure Jalen Duren gets a touch every 2 or 3 times down the court. Because maybe he gets pissed that he doesn't get touches. He's playing all this good defense, blocking shots, getting rebounds, and then you got Emoni and 55-year-old what's his face jumping around. You have to take the temperature of your team and figure out what works best for them.
Yeah. So and what he tried to do when he with Emoni and Jalen is let them be the stars and run a pick and roll NBA offense, and it didn't work. So now we're back at this flex offense, and it was working tonight until nut cutting time, and they completely went away from it. It was one-on-one ball, let me go by you, and you see Emoni get ripped at half court. So Chris Vernon was saying they should just run pick and roll with Emoni and Duren all game. Emoni can't do that. He's not that type of player yet. Maybe next year he will be. Maybe by the end of this year he will be. Because we know how these freshmen progress, but he can't do it right now, you know? So it is what it is. I think they're going to continue to get better. They got to play for each other. We might see some transfers.
Oh, you seen some transfers. You've seen some transfers.
I think it'll probably be Timberlake. He had 8 rebounds tonight, but he just looked uninspired.
Oh, you think Timberlake is going to be one?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a transfer. I think Landers Nolley is just going to say, I'm going to prepare for the draft, bro. Like, nothing I can do. Nothing in the 30 minutes I get for y'all or 25 minutes I give for y'all going to help my draft. I'll just rather go prepare for the draft or just go overseas. I think Landers Nolley's done.
Nah, it's a long flight overseas, brother. You better stick around and win some games. I also that draft stock.
I also said I don't know what Penny got on the Lawsons. I have no idea what kind of secrets he know about that Lawson family, but I cannot believe that Keelan is happy with them folk getting with him redshirting Jonathan and Chandler getting no minutes. I can't believe he's happy about that at all.
I can't speak to that, but who would you play Chandler over?
I don't know, but I'm just saying.
You know, people calling for Camden to play, Josh Minot to play. Like, who you want to take out?
I would give the 5 minutes that Tyler get. I would give him to Minot. If they're gonna be inconsequential, just give it to him. Tyler, God bless him. You know, you did the thing. You wanted to come home and play. You good, but I don't know, man. I also like I said, I'm just stuck on the Lawson thing. I can't believe that Jonathan Lawson was a top 75 player in the country and he decided to stay in Memphis in redshirt when any other school would have him be a.
Yeah, but top 75, like, come on, Jamal. We've seen top 75 players all the time. Like,
not redshirt, Mase.
A lot of times they don't make no impact, so they wish they would have redshirted.
My redshirt, Mase.
And transfer, you have a shitty freshman year and transfer. Maybe it's good for him. Maybe he is a good personal decision.
Maybe it is. I love your optimism. You are the optimist.
What would you expect Jonathan Lawson to do if he would have went to Oregon as a freshman?
As a freshman at Oregon,
not a goddamn thing.
He'll get 10 to 12 minutes. 10 to 12 minutes, 4 points, 3 assists, something Campbell, my boy. So, something along those lines. He ain't sitting on a bench. He ain't red shirt.
I mean, and even to the point about Chandler, like he was a contributor to that Oregon team, but he wasn't an integral part to those Oregon beat teams.
I would expect Jonathan to not lose the Georgia ball sitting on the bench.
Come on, man. We're in the Memphis high school basketball Facebook group right now. Come on now.
Now,
a top 75 player going to change the outlook for this team season?
Just if you want me to get to my Memphis high school Facebook bag, I will. Because I don't care what the boy did. I'll play Jonathan over Alo. I will play Jonathan over Alo. Yes.
After the game we just watched, you're going to say
After the game we just watched. I don't care.
Oh, my God.
Do not care.
Hell no.
Alo is the worst two-time Mr. Basketball this state has ever seen.
I forgot. We're in the Facebook group. My bad. I thought you were being serious.
I stand by that. I stand by that. You mean to tell me Alex Lomax can win Mr. Basketball twice, but Robert O'Kelly or Tony Harris or Dane Bradshaw or nobody else can? Give me somebody else. Or Elliott or Penny. Nobody else can win Mr. Basketball twice. Alex Lomax, get out of here. Not doing it. Ain't no, sir. Don't believe it.
That don't even make sense, that comparison.
The worst one, bro. I'm going to have that bias to the day I die.
I'm just jealous of them championships, man.
Who championships?
Alo's 3 or 4, however many he got.
Nah, he ain't got 4. He might have 3.
Oh,
I got 3. I got 3 too. So we tied. It don't matter. he ain't better than P. You mean to tell me
how many Mr. Basketballs?
You gonna tell me he better than JP Prince? You mean to tell me that he better than JP Prince in high school? Mase?
No, I didn't say that. It's different times, different eras.
P got 1. You mean to tell me he gonna get 2? No, sir. Not happening.
That's not what having 2 means. It's
not happening.
Not happening.
Man. Not doing it. Not doing anyway. Okay, so we got 8 minutes. We're gonna make this a 30-minute show. We got 8 minutes to talk about your Grizzlies. Down John Morant, they went to Toronto last night and won a game. You know, Toronto was down a few players. What do you expect from the Grizzlies for these next couple weeks with Ja being out?
Shit, 500 team, about like I expect with Ja. I do think we're seeing some good things. We're seeing the offense kind of have to create more. Jaren having to find his shot and like kind of find his effectiveness again of how he can affect the game other than just standing in the corner, which is a good thing. We're seeing Bane and Dylan be called upon more. Not that they already weren't taking on a bigger role, but it's just more emphasis on them being efficient players who can also play make. So I think in the long run, honestly, it could be beneficial for this crew. Ja is not the type to sit on the sideline and not pay attention either. He's watching what his guys are doing, and he's noticing how they're playing to their strengths. And I got to assume he's kind of, playing in his head what he can do differently to make our offense more effective when he returns. Now, I don't think it's any surprise that the defense is better with Ja out these last 2 games.
Well, that plays a part of it. I think and also it plays a part with Milton being back because Milton had missed 3 or 4 games, and the defense suffered the way that he is. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, they're gonna be about a 500 team. Win some, lose some, beat some teams they shouldn't beat, lose to some teams they should beat. The same thing. But it is good to get these other guys the experience they need. Good to get Dylan. We're going to see Dylan do his bubble routine.
Dude, Dylan's been hooping.
He's going to take all the shots, but I'm not even mad at it anymore. This people are still doing every game analysis of the Steven Adams, Jonas Valanciunas trade, where we're looking at each other's looking at their stats and figuring this out. But like, if Jonas was on this team, Jaren wouldn't be able to do what Jaren's doing now.
Yeah, Ja wouldn't have got off to the start that he did because the paint would be clogged up.
And so that's the reason you get rid of Jonas is to open it up for them. And we're seeing it now. And now we see Jaren being able to do what we're paying him $100 million to do. And I'm mad that people think that paying 22-year-old player in the NBA $100 million is something bad. First off, $100 million for Jaren is cheap.
Yeah. Well, dude, Memphis got some dumb fans, man, and they don't understand a lot more than just what they think they're seeing. But Jaren's been awesome defensively too. The blocks, just the ability to switch and kind of hold down that 5-man. Because one thing about that Adams and Valanciunas trade is Adams ain't been good, and he's not been good defensively either, and he's not an offensive player. So it's I understand how you say it's a bad trade when you just look strictly at the numbers, and even that Adams hasn't been good, but it's still opened up so much more. And it's the step that this team has to take to go beyond a play-in team, and kind of get that experience for Ja and Jaren. And right now they're sitting at 5th in the West, even though they're a 500 team. So you got the top 2 teams, the Warriors and the Suns, kind of running away with those 2 spots, and you got Utah a few games ahead of you. But other than that, everything's still within reach of being a decent seed if Ja comes back within like a month.
That's it. And then that's you're in the position where you want to be. And I think we have enough talent on this team to keep us in that spot, right? And so, I mean, I don't have the schedule in front of me to see what's coming. I know we got the Lakers on the 9th.
We got the Thunder tomorrow, so another winnable game.
So you should be able to win on the road at OKC.
No, at home. At home.
It's at home. It's at home.
Yeah.
Okay. Bet.
And then we got at Dallas on Saturday, and then at Miami on Monday. And
Miami's banged up.
And then Dallas, Bam just went out with surgery, and then Dallas again, and then the Lakers. So you got the Thunder, which you should win, and then you got some pretty tough games against competition. The Mavs, you're going to be fighting with them all season.
Right. You try to get one of those.
Yeah, and then the Heat came in and absolutely whipped your ass on your home floor. Just made you look like a college team playing against grown men. So hopefully they come out with some intensity for that one.
Talking to my boy that plays for the Heat, he said it's all because they stayed at the new hotel. They didn't stay at the Westin. They stayed at the new hotel. The new hotel had better beds, better rooms, better vibes. And they came in, they kicked our butt. You want to get one of those Dallas games. Pro tip for those who listen, take Darius Bazley under points for that OKC game. It's probably around 10. He ain't gonna get to 10. Just take that under.
But Matt, how about Desmond Bane? Like his game, the expansion of his game, it looks like the summer league that he played point guard has really just helped his vision and ability to handle the ball. I mean, for what are we getting? 22nd pick? Like what?
Yep.
That's a starting level shooting guard.
Like Desmond, his first 8 games were off the chain, and he came down a little bit.
Yeah.
Whatever, which is like it happens. It's going to be, you come out on fire like that, you're going to come down a bit. But he's been super consistent. His jump shot is what we need. We've been looking for shooters our entire time. And he's making up for what we're losing with Grayson, as Campbell said, because Grayson's out here shooting the shit out the ball from Milwaukee. But he's good. He's really good.
And, that goes back to the analyzing trades. Like, trades can be good for both teams because now we're getting Bane and Melton minutes, and Melton has been really good too. And I like the potential long-term of Melton and Bane over Grayson just because they have the defensive ability. And the offense doesn't seem to be that much of a fall-off between the three of them. So, this is a great trade for Grayson. Good to see him doing well. Playing with Giannis, you're going to get wide open shots all season, all playoffs. So it's a perfect spot for him.
All you got to do is knock him down.
Don't Joe Harrison. Shit.
There was something else I wanted to talk about with the Grizzlies. Was it Jaren? No, it was Zaire. What do you think about Zaire these first couple games, first 20 games?
It's weird to say it for the 10th pick, but he's been better than I expected. And I think you kind of see him growing. Like, he started off as just a corner 3-point shooter, and he's like, okay, I can do this in the NBA. I can catch and shoot. Now he's starting to catch and pump fake and drive. So I think he's going to be good, man. I still see a lot of what I saw on draft night when I was looking at, he's got the basic skills. He's just got to get some man strength and
Right.
because people can take the ball from him right now and just continue to grow. But I don't think it's a bust of a pick or anything yet. I think he's showing more than what I expected to see, at least for whatever that's worth.
He got to get his NBA body, but he has a skill set. He can shoot. He's athletic. I would like to see.
I didn't expect him already to be able to hit an NBA three, pretty consistently.
I need to see him be a little bit more athletic on some of the drives, but that you can get that a little bit. Once they get some weight on him and he's able to take some bumps and be able to do that. So like I've been on the Zaire bandwagon since we took him, just because the people I knew at Stanford that talked so highly of him and his as a high school recruit, he was so highly rated.
Mm-hmm.
You just take that into it. But I think he's been great. He's been okay, not great. Great was wrong word to use. I would like to see a little less John Conchar.
Yeah.
But the situations call for him to play. And so, with somebody's always out or something. I tell you, like, Conchar is an NBA player. We know it, but he's not a top 9 NBA player on your team. He's a 10th or 11th person on your team.
Yeah, it's like break glass in case of emergency, right. Not every night rotation type shit. Exactly. Brandon Clark's looked better. He looked like he was dead at the beginning of the season. Now it looks kind of back to rookie year Brandon Clark.
Because Taylor wasn't going to play him. And then Taylor played him for one game and he went out and did some things. And now, like, it's the same Brandon Clark, but you know what it is. And this is also something that happened with that Jonas trade. It freed up some minutes for Brandon Clark and Jaren to play together.
And some space for Brandon Clark.
And that's when he looks the best because, all of that stuff works out that way. Well, we passed the 30 minutes. We said we were going to be here long. We just jumping back in this thing. You know what I'm saying? We ain't did it in a month or two. Glad to see we got the faithful watching. Campbell,
appreciate it.
Campbell, you my guy. Justin and Roy. Roy just wanted to come in here and talk about Tennessee. I can't wait for that Tennessee game.
Man, he already tweeting some dumb shit. It's all day. I don't even know why I follow him. I'm like, dang, I should just save my. Because I get mad at him. I don't text him or nothing. I'm just mad at Roy. I'm like, hey, fuck Roy. Hating that. And it's coming.
So here's the thing. All right, so Mase, I don't know what the line is going to be or whatever, but are the Tigers going to bounce back on Saturday against Ole Miss?
Got to. Ain't no other choice. You got to.
I think they will. If they don't, we got a lot more to talk about. I think they'll bounce back against the Rebels. It's in Oxford, so we'll see another road game. And I don't know what the status of their team is, whether it's juniors and seniors or more experience or whatever, but that seems to be playing a part too in some of these things. You got some seasoned college basketball players against maybe some not so seasoned, but I don't know if you really say that because the Tigers got a 60-year-old on their team. So,
Yeah. I mean, the vets got to be better. Lester's got to be better. Landers, even though he had 17, he's got to be more efficient, take better shots, don't turn the ball over. We'll be all right, man. Hey, I don't be tweeting, so y'all can't find me on Twitter anymore. I'm just lurking on Twitter. I'm not tweeting anything. Just it's toxic out there, man. So I just lurk every now and then.
Hey, man, you can find us on the YouTubes at Diamond in the Bluff, on Facebook at the Kickback. I hadn't posted an audio in a minute, so I'm gonna post this as audio on all the Spotify's and all of the things of that nature. And we'll go from there. For Mase, and I am Jamal, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Peace.
And I lost money tonight, like I said. I bet the Tigers -11. I lost.
Man, I took in-game bets and everything else, man.
I'm done betting for the month, actually, because it's been a rough 2 weeks.